Is the world's most notorious serial killer. His name is Henry Lee Lucas.
They say I'm the biggest mass murderer in the United States and everywhere else, you know. But I'm not.
I took her panties and her bra off, and I had sexual intercourse. Well, after that, I cut her up in little teeny pieces.
In 1983, a penniless drifter named Henry Lee Lucas was arrested in Stoneburg, Texas, on suspicion of murdering an 80-year-old widow. What Lucas had to say shocked investigators. Not only did he confess to the murder of the old woman, he also claimed he'd killed 60 other people. It was the beginning of a confession spree that would make Lucas the most notorious killer in America.
It's like being a movie star. You're just playing the part, you know. You don't think of it, you just play it. Make out that you're the worst serial killer in the history of the United States. And that's what I did. I walked across to the courthouse and I told the judge I'd committed these 60 murders, you know. And when I did, it seemed like the house fell in, because I never seen as many helicopters and reporters and cars and police cars and things that started to come in there.
A videotaped confession by admitted killer Henry Lee Lucas.
Henry Lee Lucas, who claims to have killed over 150 women, was brought into an area at an undisclosed location.
Officers have confirmed his involvement in more than 200 murders in 26.
We show him he cleared a murder of a white female in Norfolk, Virginia on the 9th of September.
Lucas took phone calls from policemen all over the country. Under the stewardship of the Texas Rangers, he provided details of the hundreds of murders he claimed to have committed. Task force investigators began compiling a log which gave the locations of the murders being attributed to Lucas. Piece by piece, the task force built up a picture of Lucas's life on the road, roaming the interstates in search of a place to call home. For more than 8 years, Lucas drifted from town to town, going nowhere and achieving nothing. Except perhaps hundreds of murders.
I gave him a number which I gave him a long time ago that it was 150 and nobody didn't believe it. And after I passed 150, people began to wonder. And I told them it's going to be way over 360. Every case I would go out on for them, you know, they would automatically pick up the telephone and call the news media, tell them that I'd solved 4 or 5 cases that day. So the news media would come running, you know.
How do you feel?
Like I did today.
Like what?
Same as I did today.
What do you predict tomorrow?
It was interview after interview. I mean, I couldn't turn around unless it was an interview. And I started staying on TV 24 hours a day. I mean, it changed me. And I got so that I thought I was the biggest movie star in this country.
Real nice smile you got there.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Lucas did become a movie star. The cult film, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, was a fictionalized account of his life.
Elvis Presley was supposed to be the biggest shot, but I think I even beat Elvis Presley. And I think I even beat, what's his name, Adolf Hitler? Seemed like I was going to beat him. Because Seemed like every time they would bring a murder case in, I would accept it, no matter what it was.
The Henry Lee Lucas Roadshow was in full swing. And Lucas, who had lived all his life as a bum, was basking in his new career as a serial killer.
I was a king. I had everything I wanted, everything possible that a man could want. I had money I didn't have before. I had a colored television I didn't have before. I had cable TV, and I didn't have that before. I had all kinds of food, even stacks of cigarettes in cartons in my house. That's coming from nothing.
The relationship between Lucas and his task force supervisors was becoming increasingly intimate.
I was real close to Sheriff Boutwell. We were like father and son. Me and Prince were like brothers, you know. We'd go places, we'd do things, I mean, anything, anytime. Don't matter what time it was, day or night.
For Prince and Boutwell, the hard work was bringing dividends. They were making a name for themselves as the lawmen responsible for clearing up more than 200 unsolved murders. Feazell and his investigators pieced together documentary evidence from Lucas's former life as a drifter. Paychecks, work records, applications for food stamps, traffic violations. But much of the evidence they unearthed conflicted with the task force log. In case after case, Feazell's investigators put Lucas in other parts of the country on the days the murders were committed. On 2 occasions, he was actually in prison. Task force records had Lucas killing Estela Montoya in Corpus Christi, Texas on March the 5th, 1981. But on the same day, Lucas was 1,200 miles away selling scrap metal in Florida. There are many other discrepancies. Feazell and his team visited Lucas in jail to present him with their evidence.
They sat in the room and talked to me. They said, now we know you didn't do these cases. So look at this. And they had a great big double-page newspaper, I think. I'm not sure of that. But every place I had been, every case that I had confessed to, and where I was at, what time the crime happened, and what time I was here. They had that laid out there on the desk. Said, now we know you didn't do it.
When confronted with this information, he looked at us, he smiled. He said, I was wondering when somebody was going to get wise to this.
Lucas began to recant.